Hey everyone, we are looking at multiplication comparisons number 2. And this top part here is going to help us with variables. We learned on our math word wall that a variable is a symbol or letter that represents something we don't know. So these first 6 are going to have variables in them that we're going to have to solve. The directions say, write an equation that matches the math sentence, then solve the variable. So we know an equation is going to have an equal sign, and we know a variable is a symbol or letter of something we don't know. Number 1, 24 is 6 times as many as b. 24 is a number. Is means equals. 6 times as many, 6x. And b is my variable that I don't know. So my equation is going to look like this. 24 equals 6 times b. Now I can solve for b. B is like my question mark. I don't know. 24 equals 6 times something. If I have a missing multiplication problem, I can use division to solve it. And I can take my total, 24, divided by my group 6 to get an answer for b. Maybe you know the answer, or maybe you can plug it in your calculator, but either way, you would get an answer of 4. So over here, I'm going to write b equals 4. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. 4 times as many as 3 is m. Circled 4, put my multiplication sign, 3 equals m. So I'm going to write my matching equation. 4 times 3 equals m. There's my equation. I don't have to flip it around in a division problem. I can just know that 4 times 3 equals 12. So I'm going to write 12 here for m. Number 3. 24 is, that means equals, s times as many, so s times 8. If I write that as an equation, 24 equals s times 8. So I have a missing multiplication problem here because my variable. So I know I can use division to solve it and take my total, 24, I'll even label that T for total, divided by my groups, or 8, to get how many should be in each group. You can use a calculator to solve. 24 divided by 8 equals 3. So I'm going to put over here S equals 3. Next one. 36 is, that means equals, 4 times as many, 4x, as z, my variable. Let's write the matching equation. 36 equals 4 times z. Once again, I have a missing multiplication. My z is my variable in this problem. So I can use division to solve the inverse operation. So total divided by groups equals in each group. My total is 36. My groups are 4. You should know that 36 divided by 4 equals 9, because 4 times 9, 1 less, 36. So z equals 9. Next one. 6 times as many as 4 is means equals y. Write my equation. 6 times 4 equals y. 6 times 4 is one that I can just do. I know 6 times 4 equals 24. I don't need division to help me with this one. And I'll write y equals 24. Last one of this kind, we have 15 is p times as many as, so p times 5. The equation looks like this. 15 equals p times 5. Once again, I have a missing multiplication problem, so I can use the inverse operation of division to help me solve. So total divided by groups equals in each group. My total is 15. My groups are 5. So 15 divided by 5, that equals 3. So B equals 3. So there you go. That is how you solve variables in your equations. Now let's try some word problems. The directions say write an equation to help solve and answer each question. So I know I'm going to need a number sentence with an equal sign. Number 1. There are 3 times the amount of children as adults in line. There are 27 adults in line. How many children were in line? Bracket the question. We're looking to find out how many children. Underline important info. 3 times children. 27 adults. And we're looking to find children. I know I'm going to multiply. I know this is a multiplication comparison problem because I am comparing two things, the children and the adults in line. So I know that how many times always goes first. So I'm going to draw my arrow from 3x and write 3 times blank equals blank. Now I need to go ahead and code and label. 3 times belongs to the children. The children are versing the adults. And if children are at the beginning, children have to be at the end. So adults, I can see my number for adults is 27, so I'll plug that in. You're going to need a calculator to solve this. 3 times 7 equals 81. 81 what? 81 children. Circle your answer, and let's write a complete sentence answer. There were 81 children in line. Check to make sure your answer is reasonable. If there's 3 times the number of children, does it make sense that 81 could be our number? And that does make sense. And you can also use a calculator to check your work. So you could retype in 3 times 27, or you could do the inverse, 81 divided by 3, and see if you get the answer of 27. All right, let's try number 2. A restaurant sold 9 salads and 45 steaks. How many times as many steaks did they sell as salads? First thing we're going to do is bracket the question. We're looking for how many times as many steaks did they sell. So our answer is going to be in times. Let's see, they sold 9 salads, and I'm going to put the actual number 9 above the word. And 45 steaks. 45 steaks. How many times as many steaks did they sell as salads? So, this, how many times? Question mark X. It's what I'm trying to solve. So I know I'm multiplying, and I know I'm comparing steaks and salads. So how many times is going to come first? So I'm going to draw my arrow, question mark times blank equals blank. Then I'm going to need to go ahead and label. So I have the number 9 and 45. 45 is going to go on my end because it is my bigger number. I'm going to label this steaks. I'm going to have to actually write it because salads also starts with an S. I know if steaks comes at the end, it also has to come at the beginning. Steaks. And that makes sense because if I check my questions, it's how many times as many steaks, and my question mark is by steaks. And the steaks are versing the salad. And I know that the salad is 9. So I need to ask myself how many times 9 gets me to 45. I could use a calculator and do the inverse operation of division. 45 divided by 9 equals, or maybe I just know that the answer is 5. 5 what? 5 steaks. It's already labeled. Then I'm going to write my complete sentence answer. The restaurant sold 5 times, and make sure your answer is 5 times, not 5 steaks or not 5 salads, but 5 times as many steaks as salads. All right, let's flip to the back. 2 more problems. Oh, no, there's more than 2 more problems. Let's flip to the back. Okay, on the back of multiplication comparisons number 2, we are on number 3. A pet store sold 2 cats. They sold 6 times as many dogs as they sold cats. How many dogs did they sell? Bracket the question. How many dogs did they sell? 2 cats. I'm going to put the number 2 above the word. 6 times as many dogs. 6 times. And how many dogs did they sell? Okay, I know my operation is multiplication. I am comparing cats and dogs, so I'm going to do a multiplication comparison problem. How many times always goes first? So 6 times, draw your arrow. 6 times blank equals blank. I know 6 times goes with dogs. We are doing dogs versus cats equals dogs at the end. My number for cats is 2, and my dogs is what I'm trying to figure out. It's my variable. 6 times 2 equals 12, so I'll put my 12 here. 12 what? 12 dogs. Circle my answer and write a complete sentence. They sold 12 dogs. Okay, number 4. Vanessa sent 24 text messages a day. Mike sent 8 a day. How many times as many texts did Vanessa send than Mike? First, I'm going to bracket the question. Underline important info. Vanessa, 24 text messages. I'm going to put 24 in number standard form above it. Then Mike is 8, so I'll put the number 8 above there. And I'm looking at how many times, so question mark X, did Vanessa send then Mike. So this is a multiplication comparison problem. I know how many times always goes first. That's what I don't know. So I'm going to draw my arrow from question mark X blank equals blank. I'm going to go ahead and label. I see the number 24 and the number 8. I know 24 is going to go at the end, my bigger number. That number belongs to Vanessa. If Vanessa is at the end, Vanessa is also going to be at the beginning. Vanessa is versing Mike. So Mike's number goes in the middle, and Mike's number is 8. So I need to know how many times 8 will get me to 24, and the answer is 3. So I'll go ahead and put a 3 here. 3 what? 3, now check your question. How many times as many? So my answer is 3 times. Circle it. And I need a complete sentence answer. I'm going to say Vanessa sent 3 times as many texts as Mike. Check and make sure it's reasonable. 3 times makes sense. Number 5. It takes 18 oranges to make a pitcher of orange juice. It takes 3 oranges to make a glass of orange juice. How many times more oranges does it take to make a pitcher than a glass? First, I'm going to bracket the question. I see how many times as my variable, so I'll put question mark X. That's what I'm trying to figure out, how many times. I see 18 oranges. I'll write the number 18 above it. That is to make a pitcher. So 18 goes with pitcher. 3 oranges, write the number above the word 3. And that is to make a glass. So 18 pitcher, 3 glass. How many times more? My operation is multiplication. This is a multiplication comparison problem. So how many times always goes first? How many times is my question mark in this problem? So I write question mark times blank equals blank. Then I'm going to go ahead and label. I have the number 18 and the number 3. It would make sense for 18 to go at the end. 18 goes with pitcher, so I'll label that as a P. If I have a pitcher at the end, I also have to have a pitcher at the beginning. The pitcher is versing the glass, so I'll label the middle one G for glass, and 3 goes with my glass. So I need to figure out what times 3 equals 18. I can use division to help me, 18 divided by 3, or maybe I just know that my answer is 6. 6 what? 6 times. Circle your answer and write a complete sentence. Check the question. How many times more oranges does it take to make a pitcher than a glass? It takes 6 times as many oranges to make a pitcher. Period. All right, I am not joking this time. Number 6, this is our last one. Let's read and visualize. Emma sold 7 times as many bracelets than Lily. Lily sold 3 bracelets. How many bracelets did Emma sell? First thing I do is bracket the question. How many bracelets did Emma sell? I see Emma. She sold 7 times as many, so I'll label that with a 7x for 7 times. Lily sold 3 bracelets. I'll put the number 3 above that. I see that I'm going to use the operation multiplication. This is a multiplication comparison problem. I'm comparing Emma and Lily. So how many times goes first? In this problem, 7 times is what goes first. So 7 times blank equals blank. I'm going to label 7 times is Emma's number. If I have Emma at the beginning, I also need to have Emma at the end. In this problem, Emma is versing Lily, and Lily's number is 3. So now I can multiply. 7 times 3 equals 21. 21 what? 21 bracelets. Circle your answer and write a complete sentence. How many bracelets did Emma sell? Emma sold 21 bracelets. All right, that was multiplication comparisons number 2. Good job.